Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NextGen Defence Startup Showcase, where India's boldest entrepreneurs present technologies that will define the battlefield of tomorrow. Over the next hour, you will witness live demonstrations, pitch presentations, and breakthrough. Autonomous system, AI-driven analytics, counter-drone technologies, soldier wearable, cybersecurities, advanced materials, and much more. Presiding over this showcase is the visionary leader of India's defense R&D ecosystem. He is a distinguished scientist and currently serves as Director General of the Electronics and Communication System ECS cluster at DRDO, a position he assumed on April 29, 2022. With over 33 years of service in DRDO, he has played a pivotal role in India's missile program, particularly in the test and evaluation of advanced missile systems. He has led a senior quality assurance establishment at DGQA, served as Controller Missile System in Secunderabad, Additional Director General Electronics at DGQA headquartered New Delhi, and as Director of the Integrated Test Range ITR Chandipur, a certified Six Sigma Black Belt from ISI Kolkata and certified in Reliability Engineering from IIT Kharagpur. He is also a qualified lead auditor in Quality and Integrated Management Systems. His numerous accolades include the Utkal Ratna Samman in 2017, Desh Gaurav Samman 2016, National Leadership Award 2008, DRDO Scientist of the Year 2003, INAE Young Engineer Award 1999, NRDC Best Invention Award 1998, DRDO Technology Award 1997, and Odisha Young Scientist Award 1997. His contributions have significantly strengthened India's indigenous defense capabilities. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and let's welcome Director General ECS DRDO, Dr. B.K. Das.
Where are they? What is that I have to do? Sorry, I missed the announcement. Organizers, help me. Okay.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to call the innovators. Please invite the following companies on the stage for the pitching. Let's call Botlab Dynamics first.
Okay, just to tell the audience, whilst the companies come and make their pitch, so I will just request the companies to keep their pitch restricted to about 5 to 6 minutes. And thereafter, if there are any questions from the audience, we will moderate the questions for them, or we will interpret the questions for them, and we will allow you about 4 to 5 minutes for the question answer session. That's how we'll go with the game. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. First slide. While the slide takes the shape, sir,
Good afternoon to you. I'm Group Captain Sidhu, currently working in BotLab Dynamics. So BotLab Dynamics came into existence in 2016 in IIT Delhi in the incubation center. Started with two of classmates, those who graduated from the same institution, with Dr. Sarita supervising and helping them. The whole aim of three of them coming together was to create something which they can utilize their knowledge to make drones for the use case for Indian Defence Forces. Since then, the journey started. Director at IIT Delhi, since it was a new incubation, deep tech company, support wasn't coming in the initial days. So Director IIT Delhi itself supported with 50 lakh rupees with interest-free loan. That helped start the journey, and in 2019, they participated in Meher competition. The competition was headed by Indian Air Force with 100 crores project with 5 milestones. Each milestone was to showcase a technology which would transform into a new set of things. That is where the journey started, with more seriousness, with more sensors coming onto the drone, wherein the heading was HADR. In that case, they had to identify the human lying on the ground, identifying it and reporting. Initial time was to recognize. That milestone was easily passed by about 5 companies. Second stage, wherein 5 drones were to operate and carry out a search in a fixed area. That is where the network or meshing happened. And in the third stage, where 3 companies reached, where 20 drones were to cover a distance of 20 kilometers and carry out the search pattern, identify the human being and come back with that kind of information. That is where the investment almost reaching the end development stage, and 3 companies were declared to have completed the third milestone, out of which 2 of them were declared the winner because of the technology which they developed. However, BotLab Dynamics at that time got another technology because of lack of the processing speed on board the drone itself did not permit them to have the entire process done, because of which they faced the challenge. That was shifted to ground events, and then the new concept got evolved, wherein the drone light show came into existence while addressing the challenges of the unserviceability, not performing as expected. All that thing got addressed with the color of light which was put on the drone. That became in itself as an attraction, and from number 3x3 to 7x7, and finally in 2022 they could display a drone light show with 1,000 drones over Rashtrapati Bhavan on 29 Jan as a part of the beating retreat. Next year, the number from 1,000 grew to 3,500. So it was a proud moment for the company that it got established itself into a domain wherein it is called as media and entertainment, though the journey commenced with the support of funding from the Government of India to make a defense drone. Yes, sir, since then, it was encouragement through IDEX. We got a challenge to make a drone as compatible as Black Hornet. Today we have a drone which is sub 250 gram, having same features as Black Hornet, except that the way they have approached the problem area through the lens, because of their ecosystem, weight category they have about 70 grams and we have about 250 grams. This is purely the kind of a technology which is available within the country. This is where we are at the moment. We are awaiting a final order from the Indian Navy. This was a challenge posed by Indian Navy. We are to deliver them by March end. We got a confirmed order of 250 drones for this. While Parallelly, the drone light show, since 2022, it took off. We have 8,000 drones for the same, wherein the market where we are pitching today as in Africa, Middle East, they are asking us to sell the drone. We are finding it quite difficult to export the drone. These are the challenges which we are facing at the moment. Hopefully, we'll be able to resolve all of them while we are incubated and still at the IIT Delhi, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so heartiest congratulations to Botnet. I think we have a success story where from seed funding by the Government of India, where you wanted to develop a drone for the security or the HADR requirements, you went to a commercial application, which is at least hugely successful for the timing within the country. And I'm sure, as was advised to you earlier, you will be able to get the necessary clearances as long as it meets the Government of India criteria. And of course, now that you have acquired so much of knowledge, because there is intense networking and computing which is required at the edge in the swarms. So possibly another use case could be developing large-scale swarms. And of course, for the Navy, you developed a mini use case. But I think the way things are going, if you develop a large-scale swarm from lights to ordnance, that could also be a very potent use case for you to examine.
Nisa, we are very thankful that we could express our story to BDTS, and very, very thankful to Dinger sir that he allowed to get this forum to speak about our problems. Now, this is the next stage we are looking at, some support from such eminent personalities present here and the delegations. Some hand-holding, probably we'll be able to jump from here to an export-oriented company. This is what I'm looking at, sir. Thank you very much for your advice, sir.
Thank you so much. Let's move on and let's invite the next pitcher, Karta Innovations.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Aditya and I'm from Karta Innovations. So as you all know that unmanned systems are something that work in tandem with networks, satellites, and require human supervision. But lately, we're observing that this collaboration that exists is breaking down in disputed airspace and in this new age of modern warfare. We are seeing this happen in the Ukraine-Russia war, with the Israel-Palestine war, where drones are falling due to weaknesses in the existing drone technology. There are communication blackouts that are happening triggered by signal jamming, spoofing, and GPS dead zones. There are a lot of solutions that exist to this problem. There are fiber optic drones available, advanced IMUs, but these solutions have a lot of limitations that hinder operations, and the need of the hour is resilient systems that can allow drones to operate in a GPS-denied environment efficiently. So at Karta, that is what we're trying to address. Our technology enables to operate drones autonomously and reliably in jammed environments. We are building GPS-denied navigation solutions tailored for unmanned systems, especially for defense. So our solution involves a IMU, camera, and pre-loaded satellite imagery is required for reference. So we're using a downward-facing camera clicking images and comparing that with satellite imagery and pinpointing the drone's location. So this allows a drone to navigate seamlessly without GPS signals. And currently we are partnering with army units in the armored regiment to test out our solution. And we're collecting data to improve the efficiency and accuracy of the system that we have. We've been trying to train the system on different terrains, right from desert, forest, urban, rural. And hopefully in the next 1 or 2 months, we'll be able to bring down our accuracy down to 6 meters. We are a very young deep tech company. We are actually only 6 months old, and in this 6 months, we've put in a lot of effort, our heart, soul, and we've developed a fixed-wing VTOL drone, and also a GPS-denied navigation module that is probably the size of my palm. So our team is actually only 7 members right now, and we all have come together to build solutions for defense, to build resilient autonomous systems for defense. And we all have in the past worked on robotics and unmanned systems. We come from varied backgrounds. Some of us have worked on projects like air taxis. We've worked with DARPA, companies like Hyundai. And so right now our focus is on building safe, self-aware and scalable autonomy for autonomous unmanned systems. We are looking for collaborations to build our system, as well as for building the subsystems of drones like controllers, comms, and many other things. Lastly, I would just like to end this by saying something about what we're building at Karta. We genuinely believe that autonomy in defense is extremely vital, but it does not come by procuring drones. It is built by building capability in integration, in data discipline and sustainment, not in hardware alone. And this gap is extremely huge, and at Karta we're trying to bridge this gap. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I must compliment and appreciate your approach, your thinking, your focus to realize something unique. And let me tell you, after Sindur, it has opened up to all of us that GPS denial is the solution. And interestingly, you are working in a domain, and one of the labs is working exactly on your opposite domain. You know, we have delivered anti-drone systems. You must be knowing that.
Yes.
So rest you can understand. So when you are going on to GPS denial, we have to build technology how to choke you. So that is how the race goes on. But I must tell you that this is an absolutely wonderful domain in which you are working. And more strong is your algorithm, more strong your resilience of the drone against all these ZW sources. I think India will be at the top. And just 5, 6 guys you are saying, one guy can do miracles, 5 or many. You all can create some wonderful supports. And from DRDO side, I can assure you that come out with some wonderful ideas. We are there to support you, to take you through to what you dream of. It's my commitment to you.
Thank you so much, sir.
I got some point to add. I think this technology which you're developing for matching the scenes to do navigation is absolutely wonderful. In fact, India has been looking for a missile. As you are aware that there are missiles available in the world which do TERCOM, okay, terrain contour matching. So when they go in for the final attack, they actually, they are so accurate that if this is the door which is given in the photograph, it goes through the door, right? So an application of the same technology into a missile seeker head, which we don't have as of now. So possibly, as DGCS has said, explore, and I'm aware that there are DRDO labs in Hyderabad which are working on the seeker technologies, which have got active and actually pitch your technology with a modified use case to them. If we can get our TERCOM right, a huge advantage for the country. Wish you all the best.
Right. So we'd be happy to collaborate, and I mean, we have the capability, we have the team. What we're looking for is feedback on what we're building and use cases that we can target. So thank you so much.
Good luck, Karda. And the next name, Dhruva Space, actually they are no longer a startup. They are a 500 crore company. But we would like to invite someone on behalf of Dhruva Space to inspire all the innovators. We have Colonel Rowley here with us. Please put your hands together.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Colonel Raleigh. I work with Dhruva Space, and about 5 minutes I'll give you a brief on what the company is doing. Established in 2012, we are a full-stack space engineering solution company based out of Hyderabad. We've been looking at all the 3 segments in the space domain, not limiting ourselves to space assets. We've focused on space assets. Okay. We are going into launch and also the ground systems. But if I talk about space, we are only into building space assets agnostic of payloads. Into the launch domain, we are building systems which facilitate deployers, tie up the satellites into the rockets. We are not doing rockets. And in the satellite operations part, we are doing ground stations and proprietary solutions to be able to manage and control your constellation or space assets. Coming on to the product line, at the moment, the products that we have are shown. We have the 20 to 50 class kg P30. We have the IMS, which we have taken as a TOT from the ISRO, and the PNU, which is up to about 250 kg class satellite. But this is what we have on the table right now. We are looking to move towards 500 kgs, and as things evolve, I think we should be looking at even bigger things. The other product that we have and have developed expertise, given to our understanding, shortage of very few players in the power systems for satellites or space assets. So we have established a dedicated team to do R&D, customize and productionize a manufacturing facility for power system for space assets. We are doing it under 2 brand names, Solis and the Solis Plus. We have an R&D team which is working on various technologies, including something to do with solar cells. Right now, you all are aware, these are all being imported. These are triple junction gallium arsenide ones, which are able to deliver about 30 to 32% of efficiency. We are looking, at the moment, working with the triple junction solar cells, and are looking to make it better through our R&D and other means. This is another very innovative thing which has been launched by the company, and we've had 2 missions successfully done, called the Leap 1 and Leap 2. This is having taken into account the space ecosystem, particularly in India and the world over, wherein there are a lot of people working on subsystems, payloads and other things, and without taking on the cost of a complete satellite or the headache of operationally managing one, if someone wants to validate his product, a subsystem or a payload, we are a platform which is available, something like a ride share. You can get your stuff, load it up, we'll operationally manage the payload so that you could check out the validity of your product and gain a space heritage. We've had the last one with SpaceX, and we're looking at another launch in the next 6 odd months. This is the part of the launch vertical that we provide. These are the deployers, which again need to be customized as per whichever satellite or the space asset is being launched aboard a rocket. Again, we have a team which would design, customize, and manufacture within the country the deployers. What you see on the left side are all TRL-9 and have space heritage and have been, over the past 12 missions that the company has undertaken, these have been space validated. Coming on to the ground segment, we've started off with the VHF, UHF antennas right up to the tri-band antennas. At the moment, we have about 6 to 7 VHF, UHF antennas deployed various universities where we've taken up capability programs with them and done CubeSats along with the ground station to help in the skill development in a number of universities. These projects have been taken up. The other one, the 4.5 meter SX band, is something we have operationalized at IIT Hyderabad and is a part of our GSAS, ground stations as a service. Dhruva Space is one of the first companies to have got a license for providing the same. Now, to operationally manage the various constellation and space assets, we have a proprietary software called the ISOX, which takes all space operations, mission control, as well as the SSA part. So off your laptop is something any space person who's been monitoring or carrying out TTC, download commands, any kind of operational objectives can be done on a laptop through the software. Of course, there's a server and antennas and other things are integrated into it. The last product I wanted to bring your attention to was AstraView. Keeping in mind the requirement in the armies, military especially, for acquiring commercial space imagery. Now what we have done through our platform, which was developed about a year back, we made a virtual constellation of 250 such satellites from commercial space players. Now what was being discussed about 2 hours back was the revisit capability of 20 minutes and 40 minutes. Now we are aware of the sovereign capability that exists today in-house in the country. This, through commercial space imagery, by creating a virtual constellation, one can effectively operationally procure commercial data and achieve revisit times of approximately 4 hours or about, depending on the global players that we source the imagery for. If we could increase the number of people that we are acquiring the imagery, we could bring down these numbers to maybe even 2 hours to be able to get data from wherever one would want. This is a small look at the present facilities at Dhruva Space. What you see in the center is our ground station at IIT Hyderabad, which is fully operational. And this is where we are going to be in the next 12 to 14 months. At Hyderabad, next to the airport, our facilities which are coming up, we have a dedicated manufacturing line for solar panels to provide power solutions for space assets. And of course, all testing facilities, manufacturing facilities for satellites up to 500 kgs, mass-produced satellite buses is something we should be having next 12 to 14 months. These are the testing facilities. This all will be in-house within one structure. I have finished. Thank you, sir.
Great presentation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the last picture of the day. And they are CAD fam. Anyone from the company? Here we have. Let's put your hands together for the next picture.
A very good evening to everyone present over here, and Dr. Das and So, my name is Karthik Goyal. I represent CATFAM India, and I will try to correlate the theme of this particular event from core to combat readiness. Right. So, from concept to combat readiness, I'm trying to pitch in using the solutions what CATFAM offers to different industries, whosoever are present over here. So, when we talk about readiness, so the first thing that comes in my mind is like we should be equipped with the proper manpower. Then we should be having the dedicated equipments. Then we should have a proper training to get used to of those particular equipments with the right mindsets. And finally, a leader who can help us to take away with correct mindset, right? So with all that, I'll try to give you a glimpse what CATFAM is doing for digital engineering transformation completely powered by AI. Before I move into, so this is one thing that everyone is looking into, that is a sustainable environment. So engineering a sustainable environment is a primary thing that we should focus on, because we do have a very limited resources, which could be energy or the natural resources, right? So with a minimum input, we should have an optimized or a maximum output out of it. So that is what we need to focus. And CATFAM is basically a simulation-driven industry, right, where every walk of physics we people try to address through different simulation solutions, starting from the structural behavior of any of the prototype that you people design. So initially what we used to adopt is we try to build so, then we try to test it, and then we try to fix it, right? So between fixing and testing, there were multiple iterations, multiple replacements of the failure parts of the prototype, right? So that included multiple cost. So cost was always a factor and always primary concern for everyone. So now we are into the stage, we have a shift from build, test, fix to design, analyze, optimize, and then implement. So that is the shift we have adapted, and that is why these simulation solutions, be it from a structural point of view, be it from mechanical point of view, electrical, electronics, optical, fluids, anything we people can address through different simulation solutions, what are there on the slide you people guys can go through. And the most interesting part is now in the last couple of years, so we people have come up with an algorithm for AI, which is CATFAM patented algorithm. And these all solutions what we are seeing on the screen for different physics, all are integrated and all are powered through AI and ML solutions patented by CATFAM itself. Now, the USP of this particular patented solution is that it is completely on-prem. This is one of the challenge in our defense industry, that we need that data privacy, right? Our data should be with us only. And that is why whenever we try to do a benchmarking, whenever we try to do a POC, nothing should go out, right? So for doing multiple iterations, for optimizations, we need to have everything on our local repositories, and AI will help you to reduce the number of optimizations, which were earlier in thousands, now that have come down to 10 or 15 iterations only. And the primary thing is all iterations, whether it was 1,000 now, powered through AI, have become to 10, but on all your local repositories only. So data is completely private, it is completely encrypted, can be floated within your premises, but nothing will go out of the ecosystem. That is the primary thing. Right? At different stages, right, be it from the component to system level of engineering, we people have the solutions where you can use any class of physics at component level, subsystem level, system level, and finally system of systems level. So I can easily see the faces and can understand component level is very easy, right? Any small component that has to be manufactured in terms of a bearing for mechanical sort of class, or an antenna for electronics team, or a IC for semiconductor class of experts, right? But when you talk about subsystem, multiple smaller components when come into close proximity with one another, that brings a subsystem into play, where again answers are different solutions in terms of mechanical reliability, electronics reliability that we people can address while computing the parameters like MTTF and MTBF. So majorly a predictive maintenance sort of thing we people can address using the solutions from CATFAM, what we offer. And then at the system level, when all these subsystems gets integrated on a particular platform, because we are into the defense and space. So yes, any of the fighters or any of the satellites, we people can integrate multiple subsystems and multiple components to come out with a system level engine. And the most important part and the most fascinating part that I'll show you through a quick video is this. This is nothing but system of system level engineering, where all sort of complex systems, be it a naval vessel, be it the multiple fighters and static or in a dynamic situation, are getting catered, are getting communicated, integrated with one another through the radars, through the informations and satellites, all are getting addressed in a particular solution called STK, abbreviated as System Toolkit. This is one of the final integration that we must adopt in order to cater that particular shift that I was talking earlier, build, test, and fix, to design, analyze, predict, and then implement. So this is one thing that we need to focus on. And I was also hearing Modi's speech last day when he was in that AI summit. He was mentioning that AI is, although it is artificial intelligence, and we Indians are quite aspiring for everything, right? So that is why AI, artificial intelligence, is meant for aspirational India, right? So that is what we are trying to focus for all. And again, out of this, what I have understood is artificial intelligence is meant for all inclusive, because everyone is willing to adopt artificial intelligence, but in what way we have to take care of. It can be a weapon as well against us, right? So we have to be very responsible, we have to be very ethical while adapting AI in our day-to-day life or in industrial applications. With that note, I'll try to sum up. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think a very, very important topic, like I told you at your stall also. You have to be very, very deep onto all these aspects, because simulation is going to define the future course of warfare.
Yes.
So how close the warfield simulation you can do, how closely the system simulation you do, how closely the digital twin we work with for various aspects of technology. I think that will, one thing, cut down the development cycle, yes, and also it will expose the systems to multiple threats if we talk about specific warfare. So my suggestion, it's a wonderful area. I think you will inspire your team to work on these few areas. And out of that, when you come out with some good results, we are there to help you out.
Sure.
Okay?
Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks so much. All the best.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. All the pictures. Ladies and gentlemen, what electrifying pictures we had. These are not just startups, these are India's weapon for the future. To every founder here, the government is listening, investors are watching, the military is ready to adopt. Keep building, keep innovating, and know that India's defense sovereignty depends on your success. Like I was expecting before the pitches, your address, sir. Now I would request you to please address everyone present here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put your hands together for Dr. Das.
Good afternoon, friends. Can I have that other microphone, please? Rear Admiral Mohit Gupta ji, VSM, former DG, Defense Cyber Agency. Hello. I think this is better. And all my friends in the audience, the outset, I think my heartiest congratulations to the organizers for Bharat Defence Tech Show. I think it's first of its kind. I think it's the first version. And these young people, when they came and met me in Bangalore in my office, and they came out with bubbling eyes that, sir, we want to start something. The first thing I said is, don't think so much, just jump in. Jump in and start, and we are there to support you. DRDO, whatever best I can, I will support, and I think all other organizations will support, and we'll definitely have a good event. I'm very lucky and fortunate that I could be a part of this program today. So my congratulations to you, especially your friend, and all of you youngsters, to create such a wonderful platform here. Yeah, they deserve a big hand. Yeah, kya baat hai. Now let me tell you, it is always challenging to address a houseful audience, and it is more challenging to address the audience who are scanty. The reason being to where to look at. But at the same time, I will tell you, don't worry, Kauravs are 100 and Pandavas are only 5. And you know who won the war. And if I talk further, Abhimanyu was only one. He becomes a hero all throughout. So don't get disheartened looking at the back, look at the front. I think God has given eyes in the front, not at the back for that. Okay? So you have done a wonderful job, and I'm extremely happy to the day you met me and today, and you showed me the exhibitions and everything. I had a lot of ideas I've already given you as to how you're going to take it forward. I'm sure you will do it further. Friends, having said that, a couple of points, representing DRDO and coming here. See, if you look at the today geopolitical situation, I was witness to it, the discussions which was happening for part 1 hour. Normally, I don't have a luxury like that, but I was happy to be here today and find out a lot of discussions. One thing is the geopolitical situations are changing. The unipolar world has been transferred to a multipolar world. You all know that Russia and Ukraine war. I do not know those who are sitting here, youngsters, how many of you could think that it will run for years? We all thought, let us confess candidly, that it will not last more than a week, right? Looking at Russia and looking at Ukraine. But today it's happening, right? Now, if it is happening so, just think for a moment. What is this war about? Actually, who wants what? Why this war has started at all? And who is there for this war? And end of the day, after all that happening, I don't know when it will end. Honestly, let me admit candidly my ignorance that I really don't know who is going to, what will happen at the end of the war. But end, can you tell me, in any war actually one wins and one loses, is it not? You all agree with me? But in this particular war, let me tell you, whether you will agree or not, end of the day, both are going to lose. And somebody is going to win, I can't say who is, you know it. So the story is different today. The entire story is how the weak are capitalized by the strong. The Darwin's theory of survival of the fittest. So in this current world, India is a country which is a peace-loving country. India is a country, right from Gautam Buddha to, all our stories have been for peace. But I always say this point, that if India is the pioneer of peace, and if India has to prevail peace across the world, then we should have the strength. Because strength commands strength. That's point number one. And point number two, if I give a very raw example, if the knife is in the hand of a monkey, you know what it does. Or all that we talk about, rifle in the hand of a donkey, you all know what it does. So what I mean is, the right weapon should be with the right person who knows the value of the weapon. When to cut the apple and when to cut the head. And I think if any other country across the world who deserves it, you all agree with it, is India. Because we know where India values systems. And that's the reason, whether it is DRDO, whether it is defense ecosystems, whether we talk about industries, academia, startups, I think all of us got only one mission. One mission, how to make our country strong. And if you have to make country strong, it is just by making weapons, the country does not become strong, friends. If country has to be strong, the technology has to be strong. The technology commands the weapon for at least a decade and a 2 decade ahead where the war is going to be. Warfare we cannot define today. Maybe First World War, Second World War, you have all read it in the history. But how many could of you think that a mighty small drone can kill a mighty T-72 or T-90? That's the kind of a changing asymmetric warfare which has come forward. So we need to gear up for that. If we have to do that, I think every one of us have to think that how we have to empower our country. I was very happy when both of us were on the stage and we are looking at all our 4 bubbling friends who are coming forward to showcase their technology. Each one of them have explained their success story and their struggle story. Yes, it all happens like that. We always say that when there is a up and when there is a down, then that is what is the definition of life, is it not? If you have seen a ECG machine, if it is up and down only, you survive, right? If it is flat, it is over, Baba. Kya baat hai? So, don't worry. My first suggestions to all my 4 startup friends is, don't worry. When you go down, you see the depth. When you go up, you see the height. And you need the both to balance your life. So that's the reason. Embrace the challenges and go forward. We all are your well-wishers. We are there to do your hand-holding. You all have come forward, struggled, each one of you, and you have reached success. So, country is going to support you far. Just to take one line on all the 4, if I remember correctly, the first person, our Sardarji, who spoke about starting, with some military drone and landing up into thousands of patterns of the illumination drone. So what it means is opportunity always exists. That's point number 1. Point number 2, for all of you, the dual use technology is going to decide the future of this country when we talk about economy. You all know about internet, right? Internet from DARPA. If you started for a defense program and today you see the entire world is captured by internet. So what I mean, so from his story, that your dual use has shown you the success story. I am sure when you started for defense, but today you are illuminating 1,000, then 2,000, then 8,000 and whatnot. But I want to only tell you that there are challenges for you. Come back to defense again, work for the defense. I myself have got challenges. I mean, this is not the forum that I can explain you technology here, but today just 1 minute if I can take. Organizers tell me when to stop. If you raise your hand, I will stop, okay? So, I'm making radars, you know that. All kind of radars, right from submarine to the space, I'm making it. Now, one of the very popular radar, if you have heard of it, I think every day it comes on the news, is the Uttam radar. It's the ESA radar, and which we made it, and now it has performed much better than its contemporaries, and it is getting into fighter aircrafts. But the problem of the radar, you know, the whole problem is, the radar, the moment it tracks, there's a law of physics, it has to pump power. You all agree? The moment you pump power, it's enough. You are declaring to the enemies where you are, and then there are anti-radiation missiles, they are going to kill it. We have done the anti-radiation. If I can kill others, others can also kill me. So we have to have a win methodology. How do you do a win methodology? It was my very simple thinking one day. I was just thinking, because you will appreciate it. I'm specially telling it to you. So the radar, you know, active electronic scan array means there will be an array of 1,000 by 1,000 or 300 by 300, depending on how much of the power aperture. Each is a TR module. TR module either gas or GaN, 10 watt, whatever those mathematics. But the whole problem is they are all together at one place like a sitting duck, and it shows what you are and your field. So I thought, why can't every drone will have a TR module? Create an alignment of all of them in the sky. And you know the mathematics, in which frequency band I'm operating, that much of interspatial gapping between the TR will happen. That's the design of radar. I think I will not use this platform for that. But what I mean is, create an array in the sky. So you created an active electronic scan array radar for yourself. And the moment any attack comes, you just disintegrate yourselves, that vanish. That's it. That's it. I know I could have filed a patent for it. I could have done many things for it. I don't care with patents. What I want is my ideas should go down below to the remote corner of the country, that my armed forces gets the product. So that's the challenge for me, okay, for all of you. So come forward. You should be able to help it out. My friend number 2, who also talked about GPS denial systems of the drones, he is working about. I think he has already given a beautiful idea, whether it is Starcom or it is DESMAC. We are talking about lots of cruise missiles who maps onto the area navigations, and we go forward with. There is a very, very big challenge lying on you. So at the missile clusters, we are going to help you out. But what is important is algorithm. Okay, if the algorithm is strong, rest all can happen. Today, the Silicon Valley glitters with Indian mindset. Tell me why. Because the Indian mind is the best mind. I always say that. So you expanded many. Our honorable Prime Minister sir also expanded something. I expanded in one big AI summit. AI is called Analytical India. Because our mind is analytic and we control the whole world through our analytics only. So come out with some wonderful algorithms which can really help my missiles fly through the GPS denial environment, my drone to fly through a GPS denial environment. I think that will be the best for the armed forces to do. Have a great idea, come to me, I'll support you for that. That's point number 2. Point number 3 is a big brother actually, Dhruva. Wonderful you are. I think, I don't know where you are. You can raise your hand, I missed you. Or you are left. Okay. That's not correct. If we are listening to you, you should also have a patience to listen to us. That's business, you know. Yeah, one-way delivery nahi hai. Koi baat nahi. So, Dhruva has also taken order from one of my labs. So, they're doing definitely a wonderful work on both the space segment, on the ground sets and further. But I have given them one challenge again. I wanted to give them, they're not here. It is something like AMIoT we are working with. It's a military Internet of Things, wherein you know the Internet of Things and how on military applications we do it. I've already given to one of my lab called Defense Electronics Application Laboratory Deal, Dehradun. They are working with Dhruva Space, so you'll have a challenge to work for it. That is the third. Then the fourth one. Fourth one I just met actually, CATFAM, though we have worked before on that. I want to throw an interesting challenge for the fourth guy. You are there, I know. You are there. Good boys. So you will get. So the fourth one is the digital twin. In Bangalore, in every single event, I throw this challenge, but it's easily heard than done. Let me tell you why. I give you a challenge of a digital twin of a different reason. Say digital twin, what you do? You create the entire signatures, you create entire specifications, you emulate it, you create it within, develop the inside algorithms, shoot to the rest of the world, and exactly it is a duplicate of your hardware, right? That's all a digital twin about, in a simple way. I have a different challenge of digital twin because there is an address last month I was giving you. EW digital twin. EW digital twin is a different challenge. Let me tell you why. Because when you are there with your ESM system, CSM system, your RWR, JAM, whatever you talk about, you have your systems. So wherein, in the real life, what happens, and Sindhu has learned us what? The emissions happens from my own radars, the emission happens from my enemy radars as well. So I have to classify, I should understand which is my own, which is the enemy, and I should jam the enemy one, not my own one. Correct? Now, to create a digital twin for it, all Indian assets, you know, because I have designed, we have got every micro details to create a digital twin for you. How are you going to create a digital twin of my adversaries? That is a challenge, especially for EW. You have to create all varieties of PPI, varieties of transmissions, varieties of signal strengths, varieties of pulses. And your jammer, your RWR should be able to detect that, and your jammer should be able to kill that. And this entire warfield simulation of EW, you should be creating digital twin. That is the challenge for you. If you come forward, we are going to support for it. So 4 challenges for 4 guys. Third guy has gone, so his challenge is out. I will not give you, I will give it to somebody else. But remaining 3, you all are here. First fellow is here. You are here. Second is here. Fantastic. Third is here. Gone, Dhruva. Okay. So all the very best. You come forward to all the great ideas. As you know, we have got TDFs, Technology Development Funds, where we support it for you. 10 crores we are giving you. Now we are going up to 50 crores. So money is not a problem. I'm reassuring you on this stage. If there is an idea which can take the country to the next level, DRDO is there to support you. I stand by my commitment. But you must come forward to it. And any great ideas you people are getting it, please write it to me. We are there to support you for. Wish you all the very best to you and entire team and these lovely Pandavas. You will win the Kurukshetra. God bless. Love you all. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Wonderful words. It was a pleasure listening to you. Ladies and gentlemen, as we approach the conclusion of BTS, but before that, I would request Rear Admiral Gupta to please felicitate Dr. Das. So एक बार सब लोग मिलके जोरदार तालियां. इतने लोग काफी हैं, हमें नहीं चाहिए पूरा भरा हुआ बैंक्वेट. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, as we approach the conclusion of BDTS 2026, let me take you back to where we started. 2 days ago, we gathered with a shared purpose to accelerate India's journey towards defense technological supremacy. And over these 48 hours, we have heard the brilliant minds explored cutting-edge technologies in AI, space, drone, and cyber warfare, forged partnership across nations, witnessed startups redefining what's possible, debated policies, procurements, reforms, and export strategies. But more importantly, we have built a community united by the belief that India's defense strength is non-negotiable, that is indigenization is not a slogan but a mission, and that collaboration, domestic and international, is the path forward. To the policymakers in the room, you have heard the industry's voice. Act on it. To the military leaders, you have seen the technologies. Adopt them. To the startups and manufacturers, you have met the decision makers. Partner with them. To the international delegations, you have witnessed India's capabilities. Collaborate with India. BDTS 2026 may be concluding, but the mission continues. And before we close, I invite Event Director BDTS 2026, Mr. Mayank Harlalka, to deliver the closing remark. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mayank.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you so much, Andy. Distinguished guests, innovators, and partners in our national security, as we draw curtains on BDTS 2026, I look around this exhibition, this event, and I see a beginning of dozens of new partnerships. Over the last 48 hours, from our deep dives into space technology to the roadmap of future unmanned warfare, we have not just talked about the future, we have actually started building it. When we set out to organize this edition, we had promised a tech show. But as I walked on the floor and sat in one of the roundtable discussions, I realized we've achieved something more profound. We created a trust ecosystem. behind the public schedule that you had in your hands, something else happened that was very amazing. Handshakes that led to India's next indigenous breakthroughs and private dialogues between startups, veterans, and investors that will redefine our defense and aerospace infrastructure. If you feel you are leaving with more ideas than you can currently process, that was purely by design. And beyond the polished keynotes, the pulse of this event was also found on exhibition floor, where we saw tangible results of Atmanirbhar Bharat from the NextGen startups showcasing disruptive technology to the heavyweights of our defense and aerospace industrial base. I sincerely would like to thank all the speakers, to our industry pioneers. Special thanks to our state of Maharashtra for coming up and supporting us in this first edition, and to each one of you who brought your curiosity. You are the actual force multipliers we've been discussing all day today. I would also like to thank all my teammates, because you guys have made it by working day and night for the last 6 months, and of course all our advisory panel here, because without you, this wouldn't have been done at all. As you all head back to your labs, to your headquarters or boardrooms, don't just archive what you learned, try and act on it, because we are already laying the groundwork for the next chapter. If you had thought 2026 was a good leap, I can tell you that the blueprints for our next gathering are already pushing the boundaries of what's possible. I look forward to seeing each one of you, every one of you, along with your new technologies that you build in the next edition of Bharat Defence Tech Show in 2027. Until then, safe travels, keep innovating, and Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayank, for those inspiring words. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend our deepest gratitude to the to the Ministry of Defence, DRDO, and all service branches for your trust and partnership. To our advisors, Air Marshal Harkar, Rear Admiral Gupta, Major General Dhingra, Dr. Das, for your strategic guidance. To our speakers, panelists, and moderators, over 60 luminaries shared their expertise. To our international delegations for crossing borders to build trust. To our sponsors, partners, and exhibitors for investing in this vision. To our media partners for amplifying these critical conversations. And to you, every delegate, every attendee, for your engagement, your curiosity, and your commitment to India's defense future. Ladies and gentlemen, India's defense journey is not a sprint. It is a marathon. But together, government, military, industry, academia, startups, international partners, we are not just running, we are leading. From all of us at BDTS 2026, thank you, Dhanyavad, and Jai Hind. Safe travels, stay connected, and we'll see you at BDTS 2027. This is your host and friend, Sandy, signing off.